against Rutherford.
Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New York Jets. 2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. But the Bengals had the remarkable run to the Super Bowl last year, but one team that gave them trouble were these New York Jets. You might remember back in Week 8, it was the Jets rallying behind backup Mike White, who threw for 405 yards and 3 touchdowns, and a 34-31 New York victory over the Bengals.
All fine, ready?
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Burrow. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down.
And Tyler Boyd's one of those guys that seems to fly under the radar, but he finds ways to get open, and he has nice hands. He's averaged right around 80 catches a year his last 3 seasons.
11.
Now they go play action now. Burrow. A throw for Boyd, but it's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Reed. And the Jets are going to take over here up near the 40. I'm not sure that you can say that the rain caused that interception, but look, it's clear that throwing the football is going to be tough in these conditions.
No doubt about it, and different quarterbacks handle it different ways. Some guys think the rain isn't a big deal, but wind affects them a little bit more. But you have to wonder, will these conditions hold scoring down? Are we going to have like a 9-6 type of a game? And then the pressure goes on the punters who often hold for field goal attempts. Can they handle the snap and get the ball down so they can kick it?
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Now, this defense for the Bengals, much improved from Week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
The Bengals with 2 extra DBs, a nickel look on 3rd.
Blanketing the passing lanes.
Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I'm quite sure that they envisioned a much better start to this game when they practiced all week, but they failed on that 3rd down play. That brings up 4th down, and they'll probably have to punt it away.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
On 1, ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed them up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their 2nd possession.
Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and they have to run out the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively.
On 2nd and 9, Burrow. Over the middle, he finds Higgins. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller because he won that part of the chess match. But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
But that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Burrow on play action. His throw incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Here we go.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. John Franklin Myers coming in to drop it for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th. Evan McPherson out for the Bengal field goal. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they'll get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. Looking for Mims, but this is intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on one throw.
On 1, ready? 11.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And the Jets force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his second interception.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. We sort of suspected that the elements might wreak havoc on both of these offenses, and that's been the case. No points on either side as this drive begins with a first down. Wilson's throw here caught by Mims. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's second down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
To throw again on second down. Wilson. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just talking about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Throwing is Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. 11. Now Burrow. He will find his man Chase complete. Finding room at midfield. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. T. Higgins. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Evan McPherson now for the PAT. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals.
Makes the score Bengals 7, Jets nothing.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. The Jets at 0-2 here to begin the season. And listen, they made their share of mistakes in these first two games, CD, but talking with them in the days leading up to this one, doesn't seem like they've lost any confidence.
I would agree with that, and what they told us was that they weren't planning on making any drastic changes. They didn't see the need to shake things up. They were going to continue to plow ahead. They felt they had the right guys on the team and in the locker room, but they do have to start winning some games.
From just shy of midfield, Wilson running right through him. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Well, it will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, every point certainly counts at this stage of the game. But after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Here we go.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Wilson. This is caught. Touchdown. C.J. Uzomah. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Jets are an extra point away from drawing level. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And we are tied at 7. So I'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. From the 6. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
I'm wondering.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And the football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
Here we go. 11.
First down. Here's Burrow. Another one into the hands of Jamar Chase. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
11 MT.
Now it's Burrow. Flushed out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jermaine Johnson in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man.
Here we go.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
11 MT. Take.
Another try after the first down sack. Burrow. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Burrow will throw. Open man is Chase, complete. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7.
Here we go.
They run for it with Mixon. Denied on 4th down is Joe Mixon. And the Jets are going to get the football back. So an interesting decision at this stage of the game to go for it. Do you think maybe that missed field goal earlier had anything to do with it?
If it did, I'm really surprised, because usually one miss is not enough to alter your game plan. My only thought is maybe he got hurt, or maybe they just understand that it's not his day for some other reason we don't know right now. But in general situations, you run him back out there and let him have another chance.
And he'll have a Jets first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. A perfect example right there, Charles, of why they love this rookie runner.
And think about how the NFL and the college games are meshing together more and more. You don't have to go to the NFL and learn a new set of skills. What you did in college often makes you ready for the NFL.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Play action. Now Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's more. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. To throw is Wilson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up fourth down. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So Wilson runs off, and now they will go to the man they call Greg the Leg, Greg Zuerlein. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
On one, ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll...
And now ball going to be intercepted yet again. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. And Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And he'll get this into the hands of Braxton Berrios. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And he missed it. It's no good. And that will keep this a 3-point game. So we've hit halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the home team, the Jets, leading this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box, establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game. And down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Wilson to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Mims. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. 61. Let's go.
ball again on second down. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Now Wilson. And that will be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
42 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
They go play action with Burrow. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Jets are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the 6th sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get him 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. On 1st down, right back to Hall. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, Oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. Open man is Uzama. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Let's not quibble about the game there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Now it's Wilson. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. Zerline's kick is up and through. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. You think about it, that's a pretty important second-half field goal, Charles. That now stretches this to 2 possessions and really kind of ratchets up the pressure on that opposing sideline.
It certainly does, because that interception and adding a field goal to it, that puts them in firm control of this game right now. They're about one more big stop from putting this thing absolutely out of reach.
The Bengals drive about to get going. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly... Now Burrow loses the football. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points, but the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Now on 2nd and 16, Burrow. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away. And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Here we go, here we go.
They will throw on 1st down with Burrow. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Levante David. And now off to the races down the right side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a jet touchdown. But just to add that to the list of great moments for this defense today, they've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick 6, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick 6?
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Bengals drive about to get going. We'll see if they can band back together after the pick six. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A two-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Burrow. He completes it to Boyd. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Burrow to Boyd there for the Cincy first.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Levante David. And the Jets are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Would it be Frank Cini? This is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. They're pretty fragile. 83 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They go play action now. Wilson. And, he's unable to hold on to that. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete. The offense on 3rd down, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
Here's the Jets punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. Watch out for Hill on the return. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
On 1, right?
The Bengals drive about to get going. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Now it's Burrow. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's second down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. 7 yards there and a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Burrow. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front seven. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Moore, the man in motion. Ball again on 2nd down. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. That was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just